Part 26. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 251. Yu was full of smiles and had a very confident temperament. The second-generation rich people watching on the side couldn't help but secretly nod their heads. They really have temperament. As expected, people from Kyoto are not fuel efficient. Just with this temperament, it is completely impossible to be worth hundreds of billions. They are already at the same level as Baifei, Qinming, and the others. In terms of status, Yu is actually from Kyoto and has a higher status than them. Zhang Cheng raised his eyes, looked at Yu's outstretched hand, and smiled slightly. Zhang Cheng. After saying that, he shook hands with him and then let go of him. Young Master Zhang, I have long admired your name. Yu raised his eyebrows and then smiled. Hearing Yu address Zhang as Young Master Zhang, a group of people felt baffled. Zhang Cheng and the others call him Mr. Zhang. After all, he is the only one in the Zhang family, so calling him Mr. Zhang is a bit of a mockery. They are different from the fake god Yu. They had already received the news that Zhang Cheng seemed to have a deep relationship with Tiancheng Group and Tiancheng Technology. No one dares to underestimate him. In Yu's eyes, Zhang Cheng was just a bankrupt rich second generation who still had some assets. Zhang Cheng smiled and suddenly asked, I'm familiar with the Ye family in Kyoto, but I don't think I've ever heard of a person named Yu from the Ye family. Yu's face changed slightly. Hearing Zhang Cheng's words, the second-generation rich people nearby were stunned for a moment. Yu, isn't he from the famous Ye family in Kyoto? Seeing Zhang Cheng exposing himself without hesitation, Yu cursed in his heart, how cheap. You don't want to let anyone down at all. I just pretended to be addicted, and suddenly I forgot that the circle of the rich second generation is actually that big. If there is any trouble, these people will know it immediately. Yu's little thoughts were suddenly revealed, which made him a little anxious. Don't reveal your secrets. Yu's brain was spinning rapidly, and then he laughed and said, haha, Mr. Zhang is joking, I'm not from the Ye family you mentioned. Oh? Really? But among the famous families in Kyoto, the Ye family is the only one. Zhang Cheng was surprised and then said, Yu. Zhang Cheng's words made everyone around him fall into deep thought. Isn't there only one Ye family in Kyoto? That was a wealthy family whose ancestors had military leaders. In the past few decades, there have been many branches and leaves, including business, politics and the military. But how did Zhang Cheng know him? Yu smiled awkwardly, we are a hidden family, so we are not very famous. Zhang Cheng was even more surprised this time. Damn it, is there such a thing as a hidden family? In our magic city, there are only old families talking about them. Although they are not famous, everyone knows them. Kyoto is indeed a place of crouching tigers, hidden dragons. Even the hidden family in online novels exists. It's really that kind of status that people aspire to. Zhang Cheng's words made the rich second generation laugh a little. Hiding the family is really ridiculous. However, Yu's identity did make them suspicious. Is this person really rich? However, his Pagani Zonda is indeed in his name. Yu was so angry that he almost cried at his words. Brother, please accept your magical powers and stop talking. I really can't pretend anymore. Yu felt a little broken at this moment. She really couldn't bear it. All the wealthy families I know about are from online novels. How do I know what your rules are? At this moment, Yu really wanted to give himself two big mouths. Why are you pretending to be so cool when you come here? Now it's okay, now we're on the verge of being exposed. He noticed that Lu Mengli, who was sitting nearby, looked amused, as if waiting to see his show. Ha ha ha, I'm just joking. Master Ye, please help yourself. I have something to discuss here. Just when everyone was in an awkward state, Zhang Cheng laughed again. Yeah, you was given an expulsion order. The fake Shenhao will be fine if he is stimulated a little, but it will not be fun if he becomes angry and sick later. Zhang Cheng was in a happy mood. Although I really want to slap the fake Shenhao in the face, I still have to raise the little fat sheep. The wool still needs to be gathered. Yeah, you breathed a sigh of relief and said with a forced smile, then I won't disturb young Master Zhang. Zhang Cheng waved his hand and didn't care. You dared to come and test me before you even figured out my trump card. Compared to being a powerful person, yeah, you is still far behind. At the very least, I am really talented and learned, and I am not doing it purely by relying on illusions and the system rewards shares of a certain group. Although he is not as good as some legendary business giants, he is still a CEO. After Yayu left, the onlookers dispersed in a hurry. With Zhang Cheng's doubts, no one from Yayu's side came to talk to him in the following time. This made Yayu very uncomfortable. It was an image that I had a hard time building up. Even Bai Fei, who invited him over, did not come over to have a warm conversation with him this time. There was only one Wang Meng who stayed with him. By the way, do you really know people from the Ye family in Kyoto? At this time, Lu Mengli, who was beside Zhang Cheng, asked curiously. Zhang Cheng shrugged and replied, I don't know him. Then what you said is true. Lu Mengli's beautiful eyes widened slightly. Weren't you very confident just now? Why is it wilting now? Zhang Cheng smiled and explained to her, I don't know him, but he is indeed not from the Ye family. When he came up, he revealed that his surname was Ye and that he was from Kyoto. What? Who are you trying to use your reputation to suppress? Besides. At this point, Zhang Cheng suddenly paused. Then he said domineeringly, even if he is from the Ye family and comes to the Magic City, he still has to lie down for me. You can't just run out of a cat or a dog and say you have a big background. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 252. After listening to Zhang Cheng's words, Lu Mengli's eyes looked strange. I don't know why, but I suddenly feel that he is a bit domineering. Fight with what you have. I can be so domineering sometimes. At a party after drag racing, a group of wealthy second-generation people played for more than 2 hours before leaving one after another. Everyone has to be busy. Not all the rich second generation are living in a dream. The various brainless plots of the rich second generation in those online novels can actually only be said to be the second generation of the nouveau riche. The truly rich second generation have a high level of self-cultivation. They know how to plan their time and have fun better than others. With elite education, what they are most good at is law and business, which are difficult for ordinary people to have access to. Their starting point determines their future path. Only the nouveau riche would act lawless, be arrogant, and hit others. However, the elite rich second generation also have a very serious problem, that is, if they want to find a partner, they must be well matched or follow their family's marriage arrangements. This is their price. Master Ye, shall we meet again another day? Before leaving, Bai Fei found Yayu, hugged him and asked. Yayu nodded depressedly and said, okay, contact me anytime. Although the secret was almost exposed today, at least the outcome was not too bad. He still successfully blended into the small group of rich second-generation people in the Magic City. With the aura of the protagonist and his sharp tongue. He said that he was about to develop in the Magic City, and told them in a subtle way that he was interested in finding someone to cooperate with or invest in. This made a group of wealthy second-generation people with a net worth of not too high, ranging from 1 billion to several billions, have a warmer relationship with him. But Bai Fei is not included. Because of his nature, he just wants to meet this man who spends tens of millions every day on the platform he invests in. Now that I have seen it, it is somewhat unsatisfactory and not mysterious. Especially after being awakened by Zhang Cheng's few words, he began to think seriously. Okay, let's call it a night. I'll meet Mr. Ye out for a drink another day. Bai Fei patted him on the shoulder, then got in the car and left here. No one was drinking, they were just drinking juice for fun, so driving was no problem. Okay, it's getting late. Let's go. I'll pick you up tomorrow. Zhang Cheng, who was sitting next to him, also stood up and smiled lightly at Lu Mengli. Lu Mengli curled her lips and chatted with Zhang Cheng for more than 2 hours. She thought he was quite interesting, at least the topic would not get dry. Oh. But the thought of wearing shameful women's clothes tomorrow made her feel a little uncomfortable. When they were chatting just now, she also asked Zhang Cheng to change his conditions, but Zhang Cheng refused to agree. And every time when he was about to get angry, he always used one word to suppress himself. Anyway, cheating is a woman's prerogative. If you don't want to, you can. A fleeting word made Lu Mengli shut up instantly. Looking at Lu Mengli, who turned away in anger, Zhang Cheng smiled softly. He looked at Ye Yu, who was still standing aside, and said with a smile, "Master Ye, I'll leave first." Ye Yu nodded coldly and only made a nasal sound of "hm." I want to use this to restore my image. However, his performance made Lu Mengli's favorability score -10. No reason. Because someone takes the initiative to greet you and you only respond with a nasal sound, that is very rude. Ding. Lu Mengli's favorability towards Ye Yu is -10. Villain value add 100. Hearing the notification sound from the system in his mind, Zhang Cheng's smile became even brighter. I like you like this. Zhang Cheng stood up, walked to his Lamborghini Veneno and sat in it. Started the car and left here in a hurry. In the huge racing track, only the cleaning staff and Lu Mengli, who was still on the chair, were left. Seeing that only Lu Mengli was left here, Ye Yu's heart moved. Good chance. Isn't this a good opportunity to restore your image? Just now, that troublesome Zhang Cheng was sitting here, disturbing his flirting with his girl. Now that they are gone, he can finally flirt with this extremely beautiful beauty. Miss Mengli, don't you plan to go back yet? Ye Yu adjusted his clothes, then showed a handsome and confident smile, walked towards Lu Mengli, and sat directly in the seat before Zhang Cheng. Lu Mengli glanced at him and said calmly, "Wait until the tires are changed. I ran too crazy before and the tires on the car were badly worn. The staff are now helping themselves to put on Porsche tires." Ye Yu was delighted when he heard this. What a great opportunity, he could stay a little longer. Miss Mengli seems to like racing. However, before he finished speaking, Lu Mengli sneered, "Are you blind? Can you find something fresh to talk about? I'm here to play drag racing. If you don't like drag racing, how can you like to blow wind?" Lu Mengli's words deeply hurt Ye Yu's heart. Careless. A future great man, he was actually being ridiculed at this moment. However, Ye Yu also understood that because his rank was not high enough, this little trick could only be used to seduce a woman like Wang Meng. To deal with Lu Mengli, his rank is still too low. "Miss Mengli, your tires have been changed." At this moment, a staff member came over and said respectfully. Lu Mengli immediately stood up from the chair, happily paid the maintenance fee, took the key and got into the car. The pink Porsche 918 engine roared, raising a cloud of dust and flying away. Ye Yu was left on the ground, his face turning green and white. Heart hurts. I am disgusted by the goddess I like. But it doesn't matter, when I get up the rank, I won't believe that I can handle Lu Mengli. Especially Lu Mengli's attitude made Ye Yu feel a strong desire to conquer her. This kind of girl is so exciting. It must be very exciting to conquer her. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Shenhao, my fiancé is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 253. 10 o'clock the next morning. In a villa area, outside a 3-story duplex villa. Lu Mengli's voice broke the tranquility of the villa area. What? You want me to wear this costume? I don't. Lu Mengli angrily threw a set of clothes in her hand on the ground. Then he stared at Zhang Cheng. Is this outfit weird? I think it suits you very well. Zhang Cheng picked up the clothes on the ground and said leisurely. Lu Mengli was trembling with anger. She stretched out her green onion-like fingers and pointed at the outfit in Zhang Cheng's hand. She was trembling with anger. You told me that this outfit is suitable for me. What's your look? I have good taste. Please put it on quickly. You can go out for lunch with me later. After wearing it today, the bet will be complete. Zhang Cheng handed over the clothes again and urged. Lu Mengli, don't turn your head and don't answer. I won't wear it. Snored. Taking a closer look, the costume in Zhang Cheng's hand turned out to be a JK uniform. A JK uniform. Beige top and pleated skirt. By the way, I also bought her a pair of white shoes. Lu Mengli would not wear this kind of outfit, it is too shameful for her. But Zhang Cheng feels very good. Lu Mengli is the kind of person who is suitable for wearing pleated skirts. Her figure is also very slender, especially the front part, which is not too prominent. She is perfect for wearing this kind of skirt. The face shape is also very suitable. It would be a pity not to wear JK, okay. Hurry up and put it on, and then go out to go shopping and eat. Seeing that she refused to accept it, Zhang Cheng urged again. Humph, I won't, Lu Mengli glared at him fiercely. I am angry. Okay, Zhang Cheng had no choice but to say when he saw this. You don't have to wear it if you want, but you have to promise me one thing. After hearing that she didn't need to wear this dress, Lu Mengli immediately said, okay, I agree. Say, what's going on? As long as you don't wear these damn clothes, you can do whatever you want. Zhang Cheng squinted his eyes and said with a smile, then you can send a message to your circle of friends now, as well as to the rich second generation of the Magic City in your prestige, as well as some of your small groups. The content is as follows. I, Lu Mengli, am a puppy. I don't mean what I say, woof woof woof. That's it? Zhang Cheng's words were like a knife, cutting hard into Lu Mengli's heart. Lu Mengli almost vomited blood. Allowing yourself to send messages so shamelessly? Please, be a human being. Don't let the good feeling I had for you last night disappear, okay? Impossible. If others find out, I won't be able to survive. Without even thinking about it, Lu Mengli rejected him again. Then you go shopping with me for the whole day, and I'll spare you the rest of the night, Zhang Cheng continued. Lu Mengli, Zhang Cheng, you bastard. Don't make any noise, don't think you know you are praising me for being handsome when you use an asterisk instead of me. Cough cough cough. Lu Mengli choked at his words. Quickly, stop talking nonsense, put on your clothes and let's go, Zhang Cheng said impatiently. The Magic City is so big. How can I still meet acquaintances while shopping and eating here? Otherwise, just do as I say and send a message. Lu Mengli took the JK suit and white shoes from his hand. And Lu Mengli belongs to the cute type? Zhang Cheng looked her up and down and nodded with satisfaction. But he was right, he had put it on anyway, and if he gave up again, he would suffer even more. Put on women's clothing and go shopping with yourself. You also said that you put on women's clothes. Since you admitted the bet, then follow my instructions and put on light makeup, otherwise you will send the message I said. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng couldn't help but give a thumbs up to his little cleverness. I waited at the door for nearly half an hour. Lu Mengli suddenly wanted to cry. He left Zhang Cheng outside to dry while he ran in to change his clothes. Lu Mengli just put on makeup and walked out with a stiff face. Suddenly, Zhang Cheng frowned slightly and said calmly, no, you have to put on light makeup again. I've already put on women's clothes, what else do you want? Zhang Cheng's faint words were so harsh in Lu Mengli's ears. If you want Lu Mengli to obey you, you have to arrange it like this. Ever since he was a child, no one has stimulated himself as much as Zhang Cheng, and he is still not a man anymore. So, she ran into the villa again, looked for the cosmetics that had been gathering dust for a long time, and put on heavy makeup in the dressing room, which will piss you off. A few minutes later, a brand new Lu Mengli walked out wearing a JK uniform. Her little face was hot. Beige JK, pleated skirt, white shoes, she is indeed a beautiful girl who has just graduated from college, even younger and fresher than Zhang Lai. As expected of me, I understand women. Then let's go. Not only did he let him see women's clothing, but he also made himself a joke in the Shanghai circle. Lu Mengli, who loves face, will definitely choose the first one. Boom. But since I am determined to have a harem, I am not allowed to cry. After putting on the JK uniform, Lu Mengli became much cuter. People might think she was her daughter when she was taken out. You're so cruel. With light makeup, Lu Mengli is really perfect. Looking at his female companion today, Zhang Cheng was finally satisfied. First, come up with a condition that is not too extreme to make her feel disgusted first. How hateful. The veins on Lu Mengli's temples were faintly bulging, and she gritted her teeth and said, Zhang Cheng, don't go too far. Then settle for the next best thing, and finally come up with something even more extreme and post it on WeChat Moments. Such shameful women's clothing. Looking at her back as she trotted in, Zhang Cheng smiled slightly. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 254. With an extremely strong sense of shame, Lu Mengli moved stiffly towards Zhang Cheng's car step by step. Regret it? Lu Mengli regretted that she should not have been so arrogant and ran over to make a bet with Zhang Cheng. I thought it was a sure win situation, but it turned out. Wear women's clothes yourself instead. Lu Mengli wanted to cry but had no tears. I don't know why, but I suddenly feel so uncomfortable. Getting into the Aston Martin, the two of them drove towards the central area of Shanghai. Since the last Aston Martin was chased by desperados and fell into the river, Zhang Cheng bought another one. Now he is not short of money. After driving for about an hour, the two of them arrived at the most prosperous area of the Magic City. Large shopping malls are located here, as well as various shopping streets and food streets. Parking the car in a shopping mall, Zhang Cheng took Lu Mengli out of the shopping mall and walked towards the shopping street and food street. Since today is the weekend, there are many more people than usual. Along the way, Zhang Cheng led her through the crowds of people on the street, passing by a crowded place every time. Those young people cast envious glances at Zhang Cheng. So cute. The JK girl following him is so cute. If you have long hair, that would be even better. They were just envious, but the little girlfriend next to them who was pinching their waists was jealous. So handsome. When I looked at my dog, I thought he was pretty and handsome at first, but after seeing Zhang Cheng, I suddenly felt that the dog was no longer handsome. Hey, where are you taking me? After walking all the way, Lu Mengli couldn't stand the looks anymore, so she pulled Zhang Cheng and asked. Zhang Cheng looked at Lu Mengli, who only reached his shoulders, and put his hand restlessly on her little head and rubbed it. Zhang Cheng grinned, I'll take you for a walk. If you have one day at your disposal, what if you don't let Lu Mengli get rid of this sense of shame? After finally finding time, Zhang Cheng had no time to waste. Of course he took her to a crowded place. You're so boring, Lu Mengli rolled her eyes. Now, she seems to have forgotten that she is wearing women's clothing. The two people walked aimlessly. On the other side, Yayu and his cousin Wang Yuxin were also shopping. Along the way, Yayu showed a heroic momentum. He said directly to his little cousin, "Go ahead and buy it, my cousin will pay for it." His cousin Wang Yuxin immediately became excited and was not polite. She replaced her computer bag and mobile phone with new ones. Yeah, you didn't feel bad at all. He waved his hand and paid directly. Today, he spent another 10 million virtual currencies, and the exchange ratio was 10:1, which gave him another 1 million in cash. Ding! Congratulations to the host Shenhao for upgrading his level. Daily virtual currency limit increased to 20 million. Obtain 10% of the shares of Roche Group. Hearing these words, Yayu was shocked. Finally upgraded. And he was also rewarded with shares in the Roche Group. According to the feedback from the system, what I obtained was the shares of Moduluo Group, a large enterprise with a market value of tens of billions. 10%, that's still billions of existences. Every year, waiting for dividends, billions and billions will be pocketed. Yuxin, if there is anything else you want to buy, go ahead and buy it. My cousin is satisfied with you today. After coming back to his senses, Yayu waved boldly and said to Wang Yuxin, who was trying on clothes beside him. Wow! Cousin, you are great. Upon hearing this, Wang Yuxin laughed happily. The waiter on the side also showed envy. For their brand, a set of clothes costs at least tens of thousands of yuan. Handsome guy, can you give me some credibility? When new products arrive in our store, we can notify you as soon as possible. So, the pretty waiter came up to chat with her. No need. Yayu waved his hand and refused. Joke. I just slept with a third-tier celebrity last night. Is this worthy of a vulgar fan like you? Now Yayu is extremely swollen. He can't stand the ordinary vulgar fans. Hey, isn't this Yayu? Why, are you working in this shopping mall? At this moment, a mocking voice penetrated into Yayu's ears. Yayu turned around and saw that it was his former company colleague, a girl he had pursued before. Even with heavy makeup, she is still lookable. A female colleague who was wearing very revealing clothes was standing in front of Yayu holding the arm of a man in a suit with a strong sense of ridicule. Tang, are you? Yayu glanced at her and said calmly. The man next to him was his former boss, the manager who fired him. It looked like the two were completely hooked up. Hey, a poor loser like you will never go to a high-end store like this in your life, Tang Ryu said with a bitter look on her face. After saying that, Tang Ryu took the man's arm and pointed to a set of clothes priced at 39,000 yuan. She hugged his arm coquettishly and shouted, "Baby, I want this set of clothes." When the man saw the price, his face twitched slightly. He only has a salary of 40,000 to 50,000 yuan a month, and if he does it all, it will almost kill him. However, he didn't want to be embarrassed in front of Yayu, so he reluctantly took out his credit card, threw it to the waiter and said, "Pack it up and pay." Yayu noticed his unnaturalness and couldn't help but sneer. As if aware of Yayu's actions, the man also mocked, "What are you laughing at, you loser, trying to pick up girls even if you don't have the ability?" Tang Ryu took the words and sneered unabashedly, "Baby, you don't need to pay attention to him. He is just a loser. He came to pursue me shamelessly and was humiliated by me. A poor loser like him is not worthy of a woman, friends." As soon as he finished speaking, a beautiful figure walked out of the fitting room. "Cousin, is he good looking?" Hearing the crisp sound, the man was stunned when he saw the girl's face. She was so beautiful. "Well, not bad," Yayu nodded calmly. "Waiter, pay the bill. Pack it together with the pile of clothes my cousin picked out before." After saying that, Yayu took out his savings card and shouted calmly. "Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO." Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 255. Tang Ryu and Tang Ryu were stunned for a moment, and then laughed like a pig, "Ha ha ha ha. Yayu, what are you pretending to be here?" The two of them laughed so hard that they almost shed tears. Are they still unclear about Yayu's financial situation, as they have been working as colleagues for so long? Almost every beginning of the month, Yayu would borrow money from his colleagues. Over time, news of Yayu's poverty naturally spread like wildfire. Now that they saw Yayu taking out the card and trying to show off, of course they couldn't stop laughing. So good at pretending. Sir, it's already packed. Here's your card. At this time, the waiter returned with the man's credit card and handed it over with the bag filled with clothes. Tang Ru happily took the clothes. She had been coveting this set of clothes for a long time and finally bought it today. You poor loser, let's leave first. It's so comfortable to look at you pretending to be big. You've supported all the fun today. The man put away his credit card heartbrokenly, but for the sake of face, he still showed a proud look. Baby, let's go. Don't talk too much to this poor loser, or the price will drop. Tang Ru also took the man's arm and walked out the door. Just when they were about to go out, the waiter's respectful voice stopped the two of them instantly. Sir, you have spent a total of 300,000 yuan this time. This is our platinum membership card. You will receive a 95% discount on your future purchases. Hearing these words, the two of them turned around in disbelief and looked at Yayu's half-smiling expression. Yayu suddenly said, well, 300,000 yuan is too low. Take out the bags in your store and give them to my cousin. Let's collect enough 500,000 yuan to upgrade the diamond card. Hearing Yayu's words, the waiter suddenly looked ecstatic. Another 200,000 consumption. How much commission will you get this month? Hiss. I can't even think about it. The waiter bowed repeatedly. Okay sir, I will handle it for you right away. When the waiter passed by Tang Ru and the other two, he stopped and said with a sneer, you shouldn't judge a person by his appearance. Have you never heard of this saying? I only spent less than 40,000 yuan, so I am so arrogant. Compared to that generous gentleman, these two people are more like clowns. Tang Ru and the others immediately turned red and ran away in despair. I was slapped in the face, my face hurts. Withdrawing her gaze, Wang Yuxin scolded, cousin, why are you so angry with them? It's better now, but it cost another 200,000. Yayu's eyes suddenly became deep and he said calmly, there are some things that we just have to fight for. People like them are destined to be passers-by. Besides, does my cousin lack this little money? Wang Yuxin suddenly felt that what her cousin said made sense. Wang Yuxin also felt good about being slapped in the face with money and seeing the embarrassed look on the two people's faces when they left. I just feel a little worried about money. After buying clothes and bags, Yayu took the card and took his satisfied little cousin to the underground parking lot. After putting everything away, he drove away in the Pagani Zonda. The two of them visited a shopping mall again and bought a bunch of daily necessities that could be used in the school district, before heading to a high-end Western restaurant. Pagani Zonda has attracted the attention of many young men and women on the road. I have to say that the sports car has a very high rate of turning heads. After parking the car in the free parking area at the door, Yayu took his beautiful little cousin into the Western restaurant. The waiter came over immediately and said to the two of them, welcome, are you two in a private room or in the lobby? Just as Yayu wanted to talk about the private room, he heard Wang Yuxin shout first, lobby. Is there a piano in the hall? Wang Yuxin muttered when she saw her cousin looking at her. Yayu shook his head, then let's go to the lobby. It's really boring to have two people in a box. After confirming, the waiter took Yayu and the two of them into the elevator to the third floor. When the elevator door opened, I heard the sound of a piano. Yayu nodded. Well, it seems that the lobby is indeed better. There is a piano to listen to, which is quite high-end. The two people were led by the waiter to an empty seat and sat down. When passing by a window seat, Yayu suddenly stopped. Looking at the familiar back in front of him, Yayu was stunned. Then he walked alone. Young Master Zhang, what a coincidence that you are also eating here. As soon as Yu finished speaking, he saw the young girl sitting opposite Zhang Cheng. He was stunned and asked with a hint of uncertainty, "Are you Miss Mengli?" Zhang Cheng raised his head when he heard the sound, and when he saw Yu, a trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. Oh, what a coincidence. Having a meal by himself, he actually met Yu. It's young master Yu smiled slightly. Lu Mengli ignored Yu at all because she didn't hear him. Now she is still angry. Seeing that she was ignoring him, Yu's eyes flashed with anger, but when he heard Zhang Cheng's voice, he reluctantly smiled. Young Master Zhang, are you having dinner with Miss Mengli? Nonsense, why don't you come to the restaurant to eat and come to see the scenery, Lu Mengli said rudely. I always encounter unhappy things today. The anger in Yu's eyes was obvious, but he still held it back. Then I won't disturb you too. Now, every time Zhang Cheng sees him getting frustrated at Lu Mengli's place, he always has the urge to laugh. Although Lu Mengli is the heroine, it's true. But the playing time was completely disrupted. Yu should have appeared after becoming a billionaire, saving Lu Mengli who was in a car accident, and by the way saving the Lu family who was about to go bankrupt, and finally melted her cold heart. But it was too early now, and Yu didn't have the hardware strength to keep up. Moreover, did she really think that Lu Mengli didn't notice his and Wang Meng's little actions that night? Okay, don't be angry, I'll give you a show. Seeing that Lu Mengli was always unhappy, Zhang Cheng had no choice but to say. What program? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 256. Zhang Cheng's words aroused Lu Mengli's interest. He quickly asked. You name anyone, and I will try my best to fulfill your wish. Zhang Cheng smiled with his eyes narrowed. Hearing this, Lu Mengli fell into deep thought. What to play? So confused. Lu Mengli thought for a while and asked with an uncertain tone, anything is okay. Anything goes. As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Mengli immediately pointed to the piano on the stage and said, then go and play the piano for me. I won't play. Zhang Cheng refused without thinking. He didn't want to take out the program he played for Su Qingying and continue to use it. Is this different from a Matryoshka doll? Seeing that he decisively rejected her, Lu Mengli immediately said with disdain, then what else can you say to satisfy me? Ah. Yes, I can satisfy you with anything, but I don't want to play the piano. Zhang Cheng nodded. You can't, right? Lu Mengli said sarcastically. It's like saying how perfect you are. It turned out that he was not just pretending, but was trying to trick me. Zhang Cheng was happy. It's just that I don't want to take action, otherwise you would cry when I play, you understand? Do you think your master-level piano skills are just for display? Upon hearing this, Zhang Cheng immediately stood up and walked onto the stage. Didn't explain anything to her. I went up and played the song Wedding in a Dream. Just like before, the whole place was silent. Wait until he finishes playing and steps off the stage. Lu Mengli was still in a trance, but Zhang Cheng woke her up directly. I told you not to play, but you insist on me playing. Zhang Cheng sighed. Now I'm fine, I can't eat anymore. This group of people kept staring at me, which was annoying to death. Lu Mengli's face turned red. How do I know? She also felt the eyes of the people around her. It was conceivable that they were all attracted by Zhang Cheng's mysterious music. Let's go, check out and change places. Zhang Cheng picked up his mobile phone and was about to leave. Seeing this, Lu Mengli had no choice but to follow him and leave the restaurant. Zhang Cheng actually had no intention of playing the piano again, but he couldn't stand Lu Mengli's ridicule, so he couldn't help but walked up and played a song. After the two left, everyone in the restaurant came to their senses. Wow, cousin, that person just played so well at another table. Wang Yuxin showed some admiration and looked closely at Zhang Cheng's leaving figure. It's just such a pity that such a handsome guy already has a girlfriend. His girlfriend is so pretty too. Wang Yuxin's words deeply hurt Yayu's little heart. Hateful. It's not enough for Zhang Cheng, a prodigal son, to hook up with his goddess, now even his cousin has become his crush. This future great man, he really has no momentum at all now. Yayu was thinking about it and was suddenly stunned. Yayu. Say your conditions. Luo Hui pondered for a moment and then said. Luo Hui was stunned. As soon as the call was connected, a steady voice came, "Hello, who is this?" Thinking of this, Yayu stood up and said, "I'm going to make a call." "That's right, don't you own equity in the Roche Group?" 10% of the shares of his group were bought by a mysterious person, and the mysterious person was named Yayu. There was always a voice in my head, telling me to target Zhang Cheng unconditionally. Then I definitely agree. 10% of the equity, plus the 41% in his own hands, is 51% of the controlling stake. After saying that, he went to the bathroom and dialed the personal phone number of Luo Hui, the head of the Luo family, according to the contact information given by the system. Although Roche Group's stock price has been falling continuously recently, and many scattered shares were bought by mysterious investment institutions, his life has not been easy recently. 10% of Roche's equity, as long as Roche helps itself target Zhang Cheng. If you use this to make a deal and let Luo's people help you target Zhang Cheng, wouldn't that be a problem? Luo Hui asked, "Why did Mr. Ye call me?" "This is simply a huge bargain, isn't it?" Now that he heard that a fool wanted to sell his equity to himself at a cabbage price, how could he refuse? "It's me." Hearing his name, Luo Hui was moved in his heart, and then said, "New shareholder, Yayu." "Very good, with that 500 million in cash and one condition, the 10% equity can be transferred to you immediately." Yayu was very satisfied with his answer. The Luo Group is a family business, and 10% of the equity is in their own hands. They must find a way to recover it. As a wealthy family in Shanghai, they must have the means to deal with Zhang Cheng, a down-and-out family. The Luo family doesn't want to buy back 10% of my equity, Yayu said his purpose straight to the point. "If you don't want 10% of the equity, can you buy it back yourself?" At least he was very dissatisfied with Zhang Cheng. He felt that if this small amount of equity could buy Zhang Cheng a second bankruptcy, it would be worth it. "Master Luo, my name is Yayu." Without conditions, he didn't believe that money alone could buy back Yayu's equity. "Say your conditions." On the other side, in the Luo Group headquarters building, Luo Hui played with walnuts and said with a smile, "Not too much." Smart Yayu praised him. It was comfortable to deal with smart people. Then Yayu stated his conditions, 10% equity in exchange for 500 million in cash. Isn't this too much? Yayu was thinking in his mind. He just doesn't like Zhang Cheng. Even though his subconscious tells him that this business is a loss, he just wants to do it. He also just received the news about this name. Although billions were lost, it was worth it. I want Zhang Cheng to disappear from the circle of rich people in Magic City. In this case, not only can hundreds of millions of funds be withdrawn, but also Zhang Cheng can be dealt with, the best of both worlds. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 257. After Luo Hui heard the sentence, 3 question marks came to mind. Is this person a fool? Didn't you know that Zhang Cheng is a shareholder of Tiancheng Group? Although the Luo family can be considered an established family in the Magic City, their wealth is really not as good as that of Zhang Cheng. It's another thing to have a huge network of connections. But trying to bring down a company worth hundreds of billions is a complete fantasy. No matter how bad a company is, banks will help stabilize it. Zhang Cheng will not fail unless he really cannot make ends meet and piles up more debts. In the past, Jiang's group was able to go bankrupt because of Zhang Cheng's amazing operations, and the capital chain finally broke. Coupled with the operations of all parties, banks were unable to provide loans and collect previous debts. The Zhang group was unable to maintain its operations, so it filed for bankruptcy. Ahem, Mr. Ye, I want to ask, do you know who Zhang Cheng is? Luo Hui coughed twice and asked speechlessly. Ye Yu was stunned and frowned, huh? Isn't he just a bankrupt rich second generation? Don't tell me that your Luo family can't even handle a bankrupt person. Luo Hui said bluntly, I don't know your identity, but I can tell you clearly that Zhang Cheng's identity is not as simple as you understand. A free piece of news is included. He is also a shareholder of Tiancheng Group. Do you think you have the ability to attack a company that has just entered the billion-dollar club? Please use your brain to collect more information, please. A series of questions made Ye Yu completely confused. Zhang Cheng, is he still a shareholder of Tiancheng Group? How can this be? Zhang Cheng, who went bankrupt 2 months ago, suddenly became a shareholder of Qinyi Group. Why is it not broadcast on the news? Really can't deal with him, Ye Yu was a little unwilling. Sorry, there's nothing I can do, Luo Hui said lightly. I can't protect myself. Now that mysterious Hong Kong consortium is eyeing my own group, I really don't have time to play with him. Okay then, Ye Yu felt aggrieved again. This feeling is too uncomfortable. Every time something happened to Zhang Cheng, he always felt uncomfortable for no reason. This feeling is so unpleasant. Well, if Mr. Ye has nothing to do, just hang up first, Luo Hui responded, somewhat perfunctorily. However, Ye Yu did not give up. He continued, how about selling 5% of the equity to the head of the Luo family for 1 billion to make friends? Hearing these words, Luo Hui became interested again. Oh? Mr. Ye, are you serious? The market price of 5% of Roche Group's equity is around 2 billion. Now it's great to sell it back to yourself for 1 billion. Well, let's make friends, Ye Yu took a deep breath and said with a smile. Ha ha ha, okay, let's have a meal together when we have time, Luo Hui laughed heartily on the phone. Feeling better again? Good. Hang up the phone. Luo Hui was sitting in the office, in a great mood. This news is the best news I have heard in more than a month. Since his son Luo Lizi mysteriously disappeared and may have died, Luo Group has experienced attacks and share acquisitions by mysterious consortiums. Roche is extremely difficult now. The stock price has dropped from more than 80 billion at the beginning to only more than 50 billion now, almost halved. In the past, small shareholders could not stand the temptation and sold their shares to consortiums one after another. As a result, they accumulated a small amount and became the third largest shareholder of the group. Humph, damn Hong Kong Island Consortium, don't let me find a chance. You dare to come to the Magic City and act recklessly. Do you really think this is your world? Luo Hui snorted coldly. Looking out the window, Luo Hui murmured, this is the Magic City. Zhang Cheng took Lu Mengli out of the Western restaurant. I wandered around the nearby food street, looking for Western food and so on. Where can I find good snacks? No, why don't you go to a restaurant? Why don't you take me to eat on the street? Lu Mengli collapsed. Why are you squeezing into a crowded place again? Can't you just sit down and have a meal quietly? Zhang Cheng said matter-of-factly, what happened on the street? Huh? Don't forget, you have to listen to my arrangements during the day today. However, if you can't finish it, then send it to Moments and group messages. Hearing this, Lu Mengli was so angry that her teeth itched. It's been so long since I came out, and now I'm regretting it, what the hell? Snort. Perhaps because she was tired from shopping, Lu Mengli found a milk tea shop to sit down. Seeing this, Zhang Cheng could only sit down with her. The two ordered a cup of milk tea and took a break here. Outside the store, the sun was scorching. People were coming and going, and even the air was distorted by the sun. Zhang Cheng drank a glass of lemonade and smacked his lips. It's better to do less of this thankless shopping behavior in the future. If you have this time, you might as well go to an art museum with Qingying. Having said that, Zhang Cheng suddenly realized that he seemed to have ignored Sister Qingying and Sister Qinjian during this period. Glancing at Lu Mengli, who was drinking milk tea, Zhang Cheng's body suddenly trembled. The system voice sounded, "Ding. Congratulations to the host, unlocking the favorability level. You can check other people's favorability towards the host. Lu Mengli, 59, not bad. 0-19 stranger. 20-39 is common. 40-59 is not bad. 60-79 likes. 80-100 deep love." The 5 levels correspond to the process from stranger to lover. Seeing Lu Mengli's favorable impression of him, a faint smile appeared on the corner of Zhang Cheng's mouth. With a little more favorability, I can temporarily put aside Lu Mengli and maintain the favorability of Qinjian and the others. Look at this woman, she's dressed so sexy. At this moment, 2 sharp voices sounded around. Shenhao, my fiancée is a villain female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 258. Zhang Cheng withdrew from the system space. The virtual frame in his eyes also disappeared. When he came back to his senses, he saw only 2 men in suits and ties, and 2 women in long skirts, sitting under an umbrella outside the milk tea shop, drinking milk tea and pointing at Lu Mengli. It looked like a group of office workers and white-collar workers. "Hey, how old do you think that woman is? She still acts like a child and comes out wearing this kind of uniform." A man wearing glasses pushed up his glasses and said with a smile, "What do you know? This is called a sexy uniform. It can be used in bed. Oh my God, you dare to wear this kind of clothes out in broad daylight. You are so shameless." Next to the man with glasses, there was a woman who looked extremely fat, with a pockmark on her face, and a surprised expression on her face. Look at her short skirt, her panties are almost exposed, and she is standing here shamelessly. Who is she planning to seduce? Why don't you go up and ask about the price? A group of men in suits and ties spouted all kinds of obscene words without any concealment. In front of the milk tea bar, a girl wearing a pleated skirt suddenly turned red when she heard what they said. She paid the bill in a hurry, got the milk tea and was about to leave. When passing by their table, the pockmarked woman said again, "Hey, what does it smell like? It's so naughty. Stay away from me." As he said that, he took out his fat hand and fanned it. Hearing these words, the girl's steps suddenly stopped. He turned around and said angrily, "Can you please be more respectful when you speak?" Hearing what the girl said, the pockmarked girl immediately sneered, "Why are we being disrespectful when we speak? You smell so disgusting to others, why don't they allow others to talk about it?" Next to the pockmarked woman, the man with glasses immediately picked up the conversation and said plausibly, "Yes, if you wear such short clothes, what else is it if you don't want to hook up with men? You have to go out at night to make chickens. You don't deserve it in broad daylight. Sluts, get out of here. There are a lot of people here. Don't wait until you bump into someone else and then accuse them of molesting you. That's right, you women who look like you're not wearing any clothes have a lot of trouble. Every time you go online, you're the one saying that men touch you and take secret photos of you, without even checking whether you're worthy." These 5 people spoke to each other, speaking directly to the girl. Their disrespectful words made the girl's face turn red, tears welling up in her eyes, and she gritted her teeth tightly. "You are so disrespectful, the girl shouted. Hurry up and apologize, the pockmarked woman pulled the girl over roughly and shouted at her. You. After Lu Mengli saw their strange views, she was so angry that she didn't know what to say. Seeing that they were all taking pictures with their mobile phones, the man with glasses immediately said, "Everyone, please pay attention to the indecent appearance of women in public. We just said a few words, and they made rude remarks. Now they are insulting us." He looked at them with an annoyed look on his face. "Aren't you humans? You dress like humans, but you do things that dogs can't do." The surrounding area was now crowded with onlookers. The girl was so angry that she threw the packed milk tea in her hand. Especially when I saw Lu Mengli's face, I became even more jealous. Have we made any mistakes? Don't you know everyone's reaction? They all think we are right. What do you mean when you come in just to accuse us? Lu Mengli, who possesses the attributes of a man, could not hold back. He squeezed into the crowd and shouted to the pockmarked woman, "You are still educated, you are not able to hold back your words, but now you blame others for being uncultured." The girl gritted her teeth tightly, tears slowly flowing down her cheeks. The girl couldn't bear this grievance. She burst into tears and the handprints on her face were clearly visible. However, the pockmarked girl continued to beat her without mercy. The fat woman with the pockmarked face also stood up in confusion, grabbed the girl's arm directly, and slapped her. "Are you educated?" Seeing that many people suddenly gathered around, Lu Mengli, who was listening to music with headphones, couldn't help it. I took action because I couldn't bear it anymore. Seeing that more people had gathered around them, the 2 men and 3 women also began to change their tone and reveal their identities. "Okay, how dare you do something?" The man in the suit was hit by the milk tea, stunned for a moment, and then became furious. "Hurry up and take pictures of them and expose them online." Snapped. A group of people were holding mobile phones and pointing at the girl. I took off my headphones and walked over to understand the process. "Sluts, who are disrespectful to others. Why don't you tell others if you dress like this?" The man with glasses slapped the table, stood up and roared at the girl. "Hey, who are you? We are teaching her to respect others. Why are you here to join in the fun?" The man with glasses suddenly stood up and pushed up his glasses. However, the pockmarked girl slapped her again. "Cry, cry, cry, you are uneducated and you want to blame others for bullying you, how shameless. You bastard. Why can't they, who show off all day long, have ugly faces? Is this the case for employees of Tiancheng Group? What are you trying to cause trouble?" Sure enough, after hearing what they said, the onlookers immediately started talking in a variety of ways. Lu Mengli was very angry, slapped the pockmarked girl's arm away, and pulled the girl behind him. "We are cultural people, the elites of the Tiancheng Group in front of us. Too unqualified. Huh, look at her shameless clothes and how coquettish she is. She must not be able to stand us." The pockmarked girl's arms were slapped away, with displeasure written all over her face. The girl was stunned for a moment, and her tears flowed down uncontrollably. "You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 259. You scumbags, you insult others with your own lies, and you still have the nerve to bite back. Lu Mengli gritted her teeth and was extremely angry. Seeing that no one in the crowd spoke, the pockmarked girl became arrogant again. "Bah, you bitch, you are confusing right and wrong and falsely accusing people. She threw milk tea at us first, and I just asked her to apologize. Is this wrong? I'm dressed like a mentally retarded baby in kindergarten, so I'm here to join in the fun." Hearing these words, Lu Mengli wanted to give this fat woman a kick. Among the 5 people, 2 men in suits and ties were eager to take action. They seemed to want to take action themselves, so they rushed forward and held them down. The two women didn't take it too seriously. They sat in their seats and took pictures with their mobile phones. Lu Mengli looked around at the indifferent crowd watching the show, and suddenly felt extremely disappointed. Are the quality of the people of the Dragon Kingdom so low? A land of etiquette? Is this a land of etiquette? She left the Magic City when she was a child and went to the United States to receive elite education. She felt that the people there were poor enough, but they had richer knowledge than those in the Dragon Kingdom. But the character of that group of people was not good. I thought the people from the Dragon Kingdom would be better. But now this scene made Lu Mengli even more suspicious. Dragon Kingdom, is it really good? Hurry up and ask her to apologize, otherwise you won't be able to leave today, the pockmarked woman continued to be arrogant. She couldn't stand this kind of woman who dressed so sluttishly and had a pretty face. Women love to embarrass women. Like the man with glasses, he actually wears glasses and pretends to be a cultured person from time to time, but his wretched temperament fully exposes his true nature. Hurry up and apologize to me, otherwise I will sue you for false accusation. The man with glasses also became arrogant. Beside them, another man and two other people said with a smile. Everyone dresses like this. I don't know who they learned it from. If they want to sell it, they come out at night. Like the woman in neon clothes before, I also wanted to scold her, but unfortunately I didn't. Wearing neon country clothes to hang out, those idiots with scarves still call them hanfu. Do they really think we are blind? These two bitches are the same. They have no shame and come out wearing these clothes. Look at how normal everyone is dressed, but these two are the outliers. Hearing the conversation between these people, Lu Mengli felt a suffocation in her chest, which was very uncomfortable. She was about to curse these people, but was stopped by the girl in a short skirt behind her. Lu Mengli looked back and saw the girl shaking her head. Sister, don't be like them. They are just a group of deformed people. Don't worry, these beasts won't do anything. Upon hearing this, the pockmarked woman and the man with glasses immediately became angry. Bitch, please keep your mouth clean. Before the pockmarked woman could finish her words, an angry voice interrupted her. Then the crowd was pushed aside and Zhang Cheng walked in. Zhang Cheng's face was full of anger. He had just quit the joy of activating new functions of the system when he saw this group of disturbing evil spirits. You bitch, how dare you say such arrogant words again? You look like animals, but you wear human clothes. Do you really think that others can't tell that you are animals? Zhang Cheng's eyes were extremely cold. Directly blocking Lu Mengli and the others behind him, his whole body exuded an intimidating aura. Who are you trying to be a hero by riding on a horse? The moment he saw Zhang Cheng, the bespectacled man suddenly showed a look of jealousy. With excited words, he pointed at Zhang Cheng and cursed, "What does this have to do with you? You came out and wanted to fight." After saying that, these 5 dinosaur-like things stood up immediately. Men and women are alike. Zhang Cheng laughed angrily when he saw this scene. Shaking his head and smiling, Zhang Cheng kicked the man with glasses away under everyone's horrified gaze. Idiot, I've tolerated you for a long time. In public, Zhang Cheng tore off his disguise, unleashed all the skills of a thug in a suit, and coupled with his own physique, kicked him in the stomach without reservation. He kicked him until he vomited blood and flew backwards. Damn it, I hit someone, please take a picture of it. After seeing Zhang Cheng's actions, the bespectacled man's companion's expression changed, and the other man with a pockmarked face said directly, everyone saw it, he was the one who hit first. However, before he finished speaking, Zhang Cheng also kicked him directly. Do you talk a lot while riding a horse? After seeing their name tags, Zhang Cheng became furious. He stepped on the pockmarked belly and took out his cell phone to call Shenhao in public. Get out of here. The milk tea shop opposite the group. After saying that, he hung up the phone directly. Zhang Cheng was angry because the rubbish he was stepping on, these 5 people belonged to his group. The 3 women were so frightened by Zhang Cheng's domineering attitude that they didn't dare to say anything. I was afraid that Zhang Cheng would beat them all together. However, the pockmarked woman seemed very confident. She swallowed and said, "We just want them to apologize to us." "Is this wrong?" Zhang Cheng sneered, "You want them to apologize to you?" The pockmarked girl nodded vigorously, "That's right. They humiliated us, is it wrong to ask them to apologize?" Snapped. As soon as the pockmarked girl finished speaking, Zhang Cheng slapped her directly in the face. The force was so great that he slapped the pockmarked woman to the ground. The people around him suddenly exclaimed, "Damn it, I hit a woman, I hit a woman." Awesome. They, the onlookers, don't care what happened. They don't want to get into trouble, but they also want to join in the fun and make a video to become popular. As for the parties involved, their death has nothing to do with them. Shenhao, My Fiancée is a Villain Female CEO. Author, Floating Like Sand. Chapter 260. You dare to hit a woman. The other 2 female companions of the pockmarked woman looked dull. Girls have the right to receive preferential treatment. He dares to hit a woman. If you are exposed, beware of having your shit thrown at you. You, wait to die. I'm going to expose you on the scarf and show everyone what it means to have a human face and an animal heart, a fat woman said sternly. Zhang Cheng sneered. Scarf? So what if a place like that is exposed? More and more people gathered here to watch, and a group of people were also asking what happened. Although everyone thinks Zhang Cheng did the right thing, but no one spoke out to support him. Lu Mengli felt ripples in her heart when she saw Zhang Cheng stepping on the pockmarked face and slapping the pockmarked girl. Fight if you disagree. At this moment, she felt that Zhang Cheng was a man. As the 2 fat women yelled and cursed, time passed quickly. At this moment, several people suddenly squeezed into the crowd. Zhou Hao came in a hurry. "Mr. Zhou, someone is beating our employees here." Seeing Zhou Hao, these Tiancheng Group employees felt like they saw a savior. They are cultural people and do not dare to fight. But the president of Tiancheng Group is here, and they don't mind filing a complaint. With the president of Tiancheng Group, it's enough to make this man suffer a lot and even disappear in the Devil City. At the same time, it can also bring Tiancheng Group a chance to become popular. These 2 women even thought of the title for Zhou Hao. An employee of Tiancheng Group was beaten for no reason while drinking milk tea. President Zhou Hao made a domineering appearance and subdued the perpetrator. However, Zhou Hao ignored the 2 women who rushed to complain and walked straight to Zhang Cheng. He bowed his head and said with great respect, "Mr. Zhang." Seeing Zhou Hao's movements, the 2 fat girls froze and their minds went blank. Zhang, Mr. Zhang? The only person who can be called that by Mr. Zhou is the mysterious major shareholder of Tiancheng Group. Zhou Hao bent down and lowered his head, ignoring everyone's gaze. Zhou Hao swallowed involuntarily. When he heard the complaints from these people, he vaguely guessed what happened. "Zhou Hao, I asked you to find talents, but I didn't ask you to find beasts to come to the company," Zhang Cheng said coldly with cold eyes. "Zhou Hao? Zhou Hao, the president of Tiancheng Group. Damn it! What kind of identity does this man have that makes Tiancheng Group so respectful? Things have taken a turn for the worse. Looks like it's going to be a hot search." The melon eaters who were watching immediately exploded, and people from the Tiancheng Group started fighting. Zhou Hao didn't pay attention to the shouts of this group of people. At this moment, he was dripping with cold sweat and replied, "Mr. Zhang, I screen people according to the highest requirements." Zhang Chen interrupted coldly, "I don't want to hear your wording. Let me tell you clearly now that employees of Tiancheng Group may not have outstanding abilities or outstanding academic qualifications, but their outlook on life and character must be correct. I will distribute the 3-view character test questionnaire to all employees. Anyone who joins the company in the future must fill it out. It's true that our Tiancheng group doesn't raise idlers, but we don't raise animals either. This is not a pigsty. Do you understand? When Zhou Hao heard this, he immediately replied loudly, yes. When Zhang Cheng heard this, he let go of the pockmarked face under his feet and kicked him. I will fire these people and ask the legal department to claim compensation for damaging the company's image. And if I beat someone on the street, I will go to the police station and surrender myself. Do you understand? The premise is that I can really go to jail. Zhang Cheng glanced at the 2 men and 3 women with ferocious eyes like a falcon, and said coldly, I don't care how they explain it, no matter how difficult the family is, if you can't lose this job, you have to claim compensation. Even if they have a family member who is in intensive care, the same goes for Shi's father. His words immediately caused everyone to feel uncomfortable. The 2 men lying on the ground and the 3 women standing were silent, trembling, and did not dare to make a sound at all. They dare to bully those with fewer people, but they are also afraid of those who are tough. After understanding Zhang Cheng's identity, Zhang Cheng's look made them scared and they didn't dare to say a word. Yes, Zhou Hao breathed a sigh of relief, as long as it didn't lead to him. As he spoke, he looked at these people and said in a voice without any emotion, go back to the group and accept investigation. After they left, the onlookers gave Zhang Cheng many positive profiles. This time it's my employees who have wronged you. For this, I am willing to compensate you 500,000 yuan as an apology, Zhang Cheng said softly to the girl in the short skirt. Hearing these words, the onlookers immediately burst into an uproar. 500,000. What a big deal. The girl was also shocked by the amount, and waved her hands repeatedly, no, no, it's just a few slaps. At this moment, her face still had the bright red slap marks of a pockmarked woman. Zhang Cheng waved his hand and said directly, just 500,000. This is my apology to you. It is a lesson for my mismanagement. Give me your bank account number. The girl couldn't resist him, so she could only obediently give him her bank account number. Not long after, she received a transfer of 500,000 yuan from Zhang Cheng. Seeing Zhang Cheng Zhen transfer the money, the onlookers became even more excited, and they all felt like they were in a rush, especially those who had some followers on Weibo. Okay, everyone, this time it's my Tiancheng Group's mismanagement. Next, Tiancheng Group and another company under my umbrella, Tiancheng Technology, will carry out major rectifications. Everyone undergoes a 3-dimensional outlook test and a character test, and only if they meet the criteria can they be hired. I also sincerely apologize to everyone, and decided to personally donate 5 billion to education foundations to build Hope primary schools in impoverished mountainous areas to care for the growth of children and cultivate their correct outlook on life. The 5 billion will be paid in one lump sum. And accept every fund movement inquiry. In addition, I just hit someone in the street, which has brought bad influence to society. I will go to the police station to surrender. I will accept the punishment no matter what. Zhang Cheng's words touched everyone. 5 billion. Education fund. Some reporters lurking here were even more excited. They couldn't wait to go back and write articles. This would definitely be the front page headline. Zhang Cheng, who was once the Zhang Group and now the actual controlling shareholder of Tiancheng Group and Tiancheng Technology, made such a big deal after his first comeback. Okay, let's all disperse. We'll leave first. Seeing the crowd's reaction, Zhang Cheng shouted immediately. Then, he took Lu Mengli's little hand and walked out of the crowd. A group of onlookers consciously made way for them. After leaving, Lu Mengli came back to her senses. Zhang Cheng, do you really want to do this? Zhang Cheng said seriously, of course, this is my fault. Lu Mengli was a little touched by his righteous words, and it turned out that Zhang Cheng's true face was like this. Before, I looked at him with prejudice. He is a real man. However, what Lu Mengli didn't notice was that the corners of Zhang Cheng's mouth actually turned up at this moment. This wave of temporary performances ended successfully. Zhang family Zhang Cheng has officially returned to the top entrepreneur throne. And, this video will occupy the entire Dragon Kingdom network for a whole month without stopping. This wave of people was not arranged by him, but the following words, and beating people in public, he had a purpose, as well as compensating money and donating money, all with strong goals. Let everyone recognize themselves.